Clifford Murray here of Empowerment for Tomorrow, wanting to talk about the Megyn Kelly debacle with her comments about blackface. Roland Martin critiqued her the next day. And the next day after that, interestingly enough, I'm reading headlines where Megyn Kelly wants to take legal action, apparently against NBC, against the remarks. So the so-called apology wasn't sincere at all, as if unless you've got a brain, if you don't have a brain in your head, anybody could see that apology was not sincere. Even putting blackface in a category of political correctness, she just doesn't get it.
Right.
Megyn Kelly hadn't gotten it even when she was at Fox News. So, but the bigger thing is, note who critiqued her, Roland Martin. Now, he did a good job as a college professor, if you will, explaining blackface and its ugly history and what it meant. And even some of our own black youth, probably a lot of them under the age of 30 in this generation, we got so many black people in our community, young black people, who are confused just as much as older black people. But anyway, I'll give Roland Martin his due. He did a good job of explaining the history and the backdrop. But these so-called discussions that we need to have with America's biggest black eye, chattel slavery, we've had more than enough. I've seen some intense discussions on race when Phil Donahue was on TV. I'm in my 50s, and Phil Donahue was on TV when I was in high school.
Right.
It's never going to permeate any real change as far as trying to espouse on our situation in this country when it comes to race. If all of these so-called reach out and extend the olive branch and understand our situation and plight,
right,
we would have this blowback from the Kaepernick situation. And that's just one thing.
Right.
You know, he's explained ad nauseum what taking the knee is all about.
It doesn't matter.
White America doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
They're in denial.
They want to change it.
They have always been. They do not like the ugly black eye. America probably would be the greatest country on the face of the earth, the land of milk and honey, with the exception of that one big black eye.
Right.
Chattel slavery.
Racism.
And then from that, of course, you've got white supremacist ideology, the slavery mentality, and the whole thing.
Right.
Disenfranchisement that goes with it. But what's even more irritating and disturbing to me, my thing is about getting black men to see some things.
Right.
And it's almost like what Tariq Nasheed said, and I've said it long before he talked about it, this culture of cowardice that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Everything from so-called law enforcement officials grabbing our black women and black daughters and throwing them to the ground, to slapping our black women around in these Asian hair shops, to shooting unarmed
black people
in the street, and no consequences for the person that shot him. We won't even, this Dallas situation where the man was in his own apartment and gets shot.
Right.
To recently some viral video that's taken place where a white girl in St. Louis is preventing a man from coming into his own apartment building. I mean, it's
back to
ridiculous.
Back to Megyn Kelly. I don't even understand why she would try to normalize the whole blackface thing, as if black people walk around here wearing whiteface it's hard. I mean, if you see stuff like that, it's like rare. I have seen some black people
it's unfathomable.
Put chalk on their faces and this and that, but I don't see it as rampant as the way how I see white people always trying to wear the blackface. I mean, it's just what it is.
If Roland made a good point, but still, in this day and age, we've got some pockets in America where black people have never interacted with white people until they graduate from college or something and have to go to a job.
That's true.
That's how racially polarized some of these cities are. And on the one hand, you got some white people. I remember growing in the Navy, they never even been around a black person until they went to college or moved from their particular demographic location and went into something else. The only black people they've ever seen were on TV. That still blows your mind that people don't have a clue
Right.
about anybody other's culture, situation,
Yeah.
background of their culture. It's amazing.
Well, I mean,
But even with that, the media and her being
Right.
a journalist, really no excuses. That apology she gave was pathetic. Looking at her body language, she's one of those who it took everything for her to even come on